Hello guys! Welcome everybody to Mando Monday. This is the series where you guys ask the questions and I, of course, answer them. This can be to do with anything related to Counter-Strike Global Offensive, CSGO investing, or any current or future update related one, if that's Source 2, an operation, or something that we all hope that finally got added to the game, that of course being the brand new Revolution case and the espionage sticker capsule. Now if you guys have any questions about anything we just discussed, maybe something a little more miscellaneous or possibly niche in the CSGO community, skins or not, something in the background or possibly to do with myself, leave it down below of this comment section or any other one of my videos, ask Mando, and then ask your question. It's usually easiest and best for me to find it that way. As it goes for this week, this is probably the most diverse but also controversial questions we have for CSGO, talking about skins, deciding the game's future, and much more.
Now today's video sponsor is of course Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is currently the easiest and also fastest way you can buy, but most importantly trade your CSGO skins. All you have to do is make sure you have your trade link, and on your first trade, if you have a leftover balance, it goes towards your current balance that can be used the next time you end up trading skins. It has 3 ways you can inspect, but most importantly has a very in-depth inspect feature that you can see corners on a karambit, for an example, that you can't really see otherwise unless you have the item in-game. If you end up topping up your balance, make sure to use promo code MANDO to get up to a 35% deposit bonus and a free $5 on the first trade.
I'll quickly mention Esports Fire, a crafting and news source for CSGO, is hosting an awards ceremony for a bunch of different content creators. The best Twitch streamer of the year, the best content creator, and a few others. You get the point. I've been luckily nominated for the best content creator of the year out of 10 others. Now, if you guys like my content, you want to see me win that, I don't think you win much, but to get a title like that, that'd be pretty insane, especially against some of the top dogs. So if you guys want to check it out for me, you can every 24 hours. It'll be left in the description, also the pinned comment below. Now, our very first question, it gets a little spicy and somewhat controversial, I will say. Now, it's a little bit of a longer one, so I'm going to sum it up for you. What this guy's pretty much saying is what's been going on in China the past couple of years, including right now, with their government, possible wars that will happen, and you get the picture. If things were to go bad there, worst case scenario, what would happen is CSGO would have the player base disappear, would skins drop to 0. And he says at the very end, sorry if this is a very stupid question. Now, I personally am going to knock that right out of the ballpark. I don't think that's stupid at all. I think, in fact, it should be discussed more than it already is. Now, I already know we're going to get the bozos that are commenting, well, you shouldn't be worried about your skins if something's going on somewhere else in the world. Yes, that is true, but someone who is in war, or maybe not, might need that money, and they also just want to know about the future of the game. Now, as you can see, this is kind of starting to go down a downhill spiral, and there's so many different possibilities and scenarios that can happen, but there's kind of 2 answers to this question. Number 1, if we look back, I would say 3 or 4 months ago in November of 2022, Jesus made a video that was probably his most controversial to this day. There was even some meme videos that pretty much mocked him on this, but he says CSGO skins will die, here's why, and he talks about how a nuclear warfare would pretty much end the game, which obviously it would. And well, if a big war happens, it will too. Now, I made a video kind of breaking down that video, somewhat defending him, also giving my takes, and yes, if something did happen, they would have a big chunk of the community and player base gone. So on paper, it only says they take up like 10% of the population. It's a lot higher than that because most of them use VPNs. And this goes for many other places in the world, not just China. But yes, skins would go down, especially from what they are right now. And that leads us into my second answer, but also a comment. You've seen a very common trend, at least on my channel this past year, where really ever since Operation Riptide, I've struggled to suggest to invest or buy certain skins at certain times, mainly throughout last year. One of the reasons being we've never seen this type of growth, especially inside CSGO, ever in the entirety of the game being out. And really, one update could just ruin everything, not what's going on in the world. Because prices are getting so expensive, you should kind of get a slap back to reality. Let's just say you're holding 5 to 10 grand inside CSGO, maybe a little more realistic of 1,000. If you really need that money, maybe right now because prices are so high, pull it a couple $100, see where the market goes. If it's going down even more, maybe hold it until it goes back up and then pull it out. You kind of get the point. That's why I think most people have to have a balance unless you're willing and able to lose that money you have in game. To have CSGO as more of a hobby investment rather than just investment in general, as profitable as it may be at some times. I think it's probably pretty obvious that something did happen in China would probably affect the game, whether you like it or not. Our second question up here is from Minecraft. He says, hey, I got a question about a market crash. Now, this was 5 days ago, everyone. Keep this in mind. He says, I really want to buy an M9 Crimson or Marble Fade. And the question is, should I wait until the operation? Oh, my friend, if this was just a couple days before, I would have answered it in last week's Mando Monday. But as you can see, there's probably not going to be an operation for the next few months, which that's a topic and question of its own. This is something I kind of predicted in a way and just thought of all the past year. I didn't think anything was going to happen, at least big content. And if anything, this past little while with a new case being out, the skins market and the player base has grown even more. And more people wanting older skins, well, that's a road to success as an investment, especially for CSGO skins. Now, pretty much all knives are up right now quite a bit this past month or so. Even the Navaja is up, arguably the worst knife in the game. My best advice and my go-to answer for something like this is, well, if you're playing the game every single day, you're enjoying your time, as long as it's not spiked up like the AUG Storm, go ahead and buy it. You're not going to have any regrets, investment or not. 99% of the time, I think you'll probably be fine if you're playing the game, if it's also a play skins investment. But if it has spiked up a decent amount, maybe just wait the next couple of days to see if it goes down. Look at past previous trends in similar knives as well. Our next question is regarding the AUG Storm. He says, please make a video for the AUG Storm. So little do you guys know, right before this one, specifically Mando Monday, I did make a video because so many people were asking me, why did I get a ban for selling my AUG Storm, P250 Sand Dune, and a bunch of other things? Because the market's been going weird this past couple of weeks. For those who don't really know, pretty much a bunch of TikTok accounts were hyping up the AUG Storm, had like 400,000 or 500,000 views. The AUG Storm is in the late collection, pretty much that has been out since CSGO was born. These were 3 to 10 cents. They went to $5 in the factory new condition, but they are mainly targeting the field tested. And well, there's a catch. Because it went up so much, it's considered market manipulation. And Valve and CSGO has been cracking down on that this past few weeks. So if you were to buy or sell any of those items, your account is hit with a trade ban. So you have to contact support to tell them that you're not really involved. It's not really that big of a deal. So unless you're selling or buying tens of thousands of these things, which some of them in the certain conditions did get sold at, you'll be good. Now our next question is regarding the clutch case, and he says, is it the right time to sell clutch cases? So I've been meaning to answer this in a proper video, but I'd say right now is a good time as well because Revolution case is fresh off release. People now know the golds in that are of course the clutch case gloves. This also contains the exact same thing, obviously, because it is the clutch case. Now there's some good news and some bad news. Number one, you've missed that kind of initial peak and the initial high when the new case came out. This, of course, almost went to 80 cents and stayed like that for a few hours. Right now, it is at 40. For most people, I would say they probably bought in at 20 to 30 cents. If you want the safest and fastest route, I would take that. And if you're losing any money, well, you're probably going to have to wait unless you want to take that loss. And who knows when that could be, when it could be profitable. We will have to wait and see until the unboxings come out for the newer case because it has the same clutch case gloves. If it is extremely high and that case price does stay over $1, I think there's a really good opportunity for the clutch case to stay over 40, 50 cents, at least for the next 6 months to a year. Now, how accurate is that going to be? I'm not 100% sure. But if you want the guaranteed and safest route to go along, I would just do it now. Now, our next question up here is from, well, we're just going to call you Luch. Why did my Monacy and Mouse Hollow all of a sudden drop 25% of their market value the past few hours? What just happened? So if we hop on over to Buff, we can see that the Monacy sticker, at least from when we compared it to our last week's market update, is down significantly. This thing, well, was pushing that $300 price. Now it's $185, which is pretty insane. Even on Buff, it was pushing $220, going to $30, which is, in my opinion, crazy. But as you can see, it's down significantly. The mouse sticker only lost like $5, which is not that bad. If anything, this is probably like a fire sale and an opportunity for you to buy them. So things like G2 and really all Antwerp stickers are up quite a bit. If you take a look at the Antwerp Legend sticker capsule, not the autograph, the regular, it's up to 76 cents, being the most profitable capsule. The reason being is things like the Cloud9 stickers, specifically the glitter, are $2 alone at this very moment. The ROI literally on all of these capsules is extremely profitable, so the odds of you rolling something to be profiting on is pretty high. And if you hit a hollow, well, you just covered all your losses, probably plus some as well. The Monacy sticker, though, is literally driven all through hype. They just won Katowice 2023. All of G2 stickers are up, well, were up anyway, and now are back down to their original price point, even a little before that. The best thing you can really do right now is wait and hope they'll be good for the Paris Major in the next couple of months, and then sell when they go back up to that price point, because they probably will out of FOMO and hype and whatnot. But that's also a disclaimer and warning for newer people. Make sure you know what you're getting into, especially major gold team stickers, gold player stickers, and even hollows. Buying during a major or a big event that's going on for the game is not the best idea, especially being the best looking stickers from recent years. Now, our next question up here is from Zywumeister, and he says, Luke, what about the people who have unboxed these skins already? He's talking about the new Revolution case, the Doodle Lore, and of course the Temuka for the M4A4. Will they stay with those people, or do they get a refund of some sort? So this guy, if you guys don't know, is talking about my video where I discuss the possible ban, at least that's what people were calling it, of these new skins in the newest case. Essentially, they had stolen artwork, and while this isn't anything new towards CSGO, the most infamous situation is of course the M4A4 Howl. They changed it and then removed it from the game. It went contraband, and you can no longer buy it. That of course rose the price up like 1,000%, and it's one of the rare skins in game. Little do people know though, this happened with the Frontside Misty, the Chanticus Fire, the USPS Royal Blue, now the Temuka and Doodle Lore. What do they do every other time? They just change the artwork and leave it in the game. Everyone's happy. Valve makes money. They don't get get sued, and everyone's a happy family. People who own these skins right now, if Valve, and let's just say the court or government, wherever these people are, all decide on the fact that it was stolen artwork, then they'll change it and move on. And the skin, if you have it, will change as well, and no one's gonna have the original copy. Now our next question up here is from Logan, and he says, hashtag ask Mando, when did you first start playing CSGO? I just recently got my 5-year coin. So on my very first Steam account, I believe I first started playing CSGO late 2013, early 2014, but I didn't really care about the game very much. I wasn't really too into it, I would say, until late 2014. We played a 5-man, 10-man every single night. It was so much fun. We grinded the game, and we've pretty much all been playing ever since. But I should be getting my 10-year coin, at least on this account, very, very soon. When did you guys first start playing CSGO? I know there's a lot of newbie accounts, which is no shame in that. Here we go. Here's an absolute banging, juicing question. Do you think the Op Fade will forever be a garbage covert skin? Now, this is a question that has been thrown around in the community for quite some time. And well, what we can really do right now is look at the prices on Buff, then I'll give my thoughts. So this thing came out, I believe, in Operation Broken Fang, and ever since was the most unboxed, but also most hated covert skin in any sort of operation, maybe even a case possibly. Now this was $700 last month. It is now $759, $720. Really hasn't gone up. A fade though and a Doppler is also very hard to look at on a Steam chart because they sell in different conditions, different floats, and you know, get the whole point. But for me, yeah, I think this is gonna be probably one of the worst covert skins unless they add something new in the next operation that makes this even worse, but I don't know how that's possible. What makes it so bad is the scope, the barrel, and everything else. The attention to detail is not there. This looks like a skin that came out in 2014, 2015, but the worst part was the rarity part. This thing was just oversupplied a lot. Everyone was getting these through trade ups and unboxings, and it was just not fun. At the same time, RMR was going on, so you kind of get the picture how those two mesh together. As it goes for the future, I mean, if you can get this for a really good discount, maybe like high 600s, possibly low 600s, yeah, it's going to be a decent profit maybe in 3 or 4 years when this thing gets a little more rare, but you have to have a lot of capital, I think, to buy something up like this and hold it in your inventory just for a few bucks a year. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Our next question up here is from Lightning Fair, and he says, what's your hottest take on CSGO? Mine is, I don't like knives. I'm gonna have to say gloves. This might be controversial, but ever since gloves came out, I just am really not a fan of it, quite frankly. And something that's even a hotter take than any of this is skins in general, which I know this is what this whole channel is pretty much based off of. And I don't mean I want skins to go away by any means. What I mean right now is what everyone hopes for CSGO is another operation or another skins, but for the wrong reasons. They want another operation not because of the storyline inside CSGO or the new maps or content that gets added, but rather the skins. And now Valve knows that because they get a lot of money from it, and all they put their effort into and really care about is those said skins, and yet they still mess it up. It is controversial. That is a hot take. And you know what? The fact that that's a hot take is pretty good because I don't have a lot of problems with the game. Maybe besides the cheating situation, but that's a question for another time. So probably, yeah, gloves, I'd say. Our next question up here is from Cloud. He says, what are your thoughts on high float collecting? So I've never gotten this question before. I've collected some lower float skins, not the world's lowest float, but the highest float is obviously the complete opposite. It's pretty interesting. I would say not a lot of people in the community, one, knew about it, but also cared that much until OniPixel, I would say, gave it a lot of attention as of the past recent months. However, I do think some skins look absolutely amazing. The Op Atheris being one. The highest float looks really, really cool. There are some other skins as well. And then there's the most, I would say, like 99.9% of skins for me where I don't really care that they're high float. Most of them look worse in the most battle scarred condition. A lot of it's copium, and just the fact that it's extremely rare. That is really cool that it is rare, but I just don't like it personally. My experience hasn't been great with number one highest or lowest floats in the game. A lot of it is to do with selling. If you need the money or you want to just buy something else, you want to sell it for what you bought it for. If you bought it at a good price, even then, it's going to be hard to sell because not everyone's looking for something like that for that said niche skin that you have at any point in time. Now, our last question for today's video is from Logan. And well, I gotta say congratulations for making it into the video twice. He says, hashtag Ask Mando. What do you think of the Bad Batch Season 2? I've been loving it. Hashtag spoiler alert, I love Captain Rex. So yes, I'm fully there with you, man. I gotta say, for me, the Bad Batch has been one of the best Star Wars TV shows, at least Season 2 anyway, that I have seen genuinely since The Mandalorian Season 2. Even The Mandalorian Season 3, I'm not that excited for. Rather, I'm more excited for this show to see the direction it's going in. I think this blows Andor out of the water by a long shot. Say what you want about it. I didn't like it. Not my type of Star Wars. I don't even really consider it Star Wars, but it's nice. It's a different spin and taste on things that wasn't in the Clone Wars, but also they're bringing things back. Bringing back nostalgia and innovation to the exact same thing at the exact same time. Having those two things mesh together in Star Wars in the right way is the perfect way to go about things, and that's what they've done. I'm really excited to see the future of the show and all the characters as well. And that pretty much wraps up everything for today's episode of Mando Monday. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Catch you guys in the next one. Stay positive, stay sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.